Oh my God.
So I'm like, man, I'll take you in the back and make you cry, like make you scream, dude. Like, what are you talking about? But if I make it, we even. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I shoot. I make it. Boom. He shot. He missed. Bam. I said, so you got me 100. And he was like, bet. I'm like, all right. So I shot. I make it. He shot. He make it. So I'm like, you still owe me 100?
Yeah.
So he like, no, we even. I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, dude, you owe me.
Terence Crawford has responded to Floyd Mayweather's recent challenge. Crawford stated that Mayweather is simply seeking attention and would be an easy opponent for him at this stage. He believes Mayweather is out of funds and is now trying to tarnish Crawford's biggest career win just to land one more lucrative fight. Crawford emphasized he has no interest in an easy payday, pointing out that anyone can see Mayweather is well past his prime.
If opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But
Floyd, yeah, because
Terence Crawford also addressed Floyd Mayweather's character, calling him difficult to like. He accused Mayweather of trying to steal the spotlight after Crawford's major victory over Canelo Alvarez. Crawford went on to say that Mayweather sets a poor example for upcoming boxers, as his lifestyle outside the sport is not one to emulate. Following Crawford's dominant win to become the sole super middleweight champion, a new opponent has emerged. Yet, no other fighters seem eager to challenge him. This has set the stage for a potential bout with Floyd Mayweather, a three-division undisputed champion returning after a long absence. Mayweather, a Hall of Famer, is also recognized as a five-division world champion.
And this dude just come over there and like bet 100. I'm like, what? He like bet 100. Bet 100 on what? He like shot for shot, bet 100. So I'm like, so I make it, you give me
the part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
What do you want?
Crawford pointed out that Floyd did not offer any public support or prediction before the fight. Instead, Mayweather only posted his winning bet, and the money he made after Crawford had already secured the victory. Crawford noted that Mayweather could have shown that belief beforehand. When Mayweather later took to social media to call him out, Crawford dismissed the challenge, suggesting Mayweather was behaving erratically and appeared to be intoxicated.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
Ilia Topuria could knock out Bud Crawford on first contact. Is there any truth to it? Why is it always the MMA guys gotta go box? It doesn't sell. James Toney and the UFC lost a whole bunch of money with it. If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia is our champion. After seeing Connor, who could not make an amateur Olympic team.
This followed another incident from Saturday night. UFC champion Topuria was upset when Terence Crawford walked to the ring using the song Conchin del Mariachi from the film Desperado, a track Topuria uses for his own cage walks. After the fight, the 37-year-old Crawford dismissed any issue during his press conference. However, Topuria responded strongly on social media. He stated that Crawford had called him drunk first and then used his walkout music. Topuria challenged Crawford to engage directly on the platform, saying he would be happy to show him how to really dance to that mariachi song in the ring anytime. He also mentioned Canelo, adding that he would deal with him after handling Crawford.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the looping on the right hands. Crawford was ready for the body shot.
The song out and performed tonight. I got Mexicans and Latinos on my side as well, so.
Did you know Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC?
You said what?
Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC.
Did he? Oh, good. Good for him.
Crawford didn't just dismiss the recent remarks. He went further by calling Topuria an attention seeker who isn't in the same league as a star like Conor McGregor. Speaking on a show Monday, Crawford said he thinks the UFC fighter is just chasing fame and might even try to escort him to the ring just for the spotlight. He admitted he doesn't understand Topuria's motives and finds the whole situation confusing, seeing no point in continuing to engage. Crawford also revealed he's never actually seen Topuria fight. He expressed puzzlement over why, if Topuria wanted a fight, he didn't mention it months ago when they met in person. According to Crawford, Topuria simply approached him, shook his hand, and asked how he was doing, and Crawford didn't even recognize him at the time.
stated, I don't know who he is. Ilia's mad. It works every time, and Ilia went crazy. Ilia's just, you don't know who I met you at this. When Ilia responds with truth, when he brings the receipts and the facts, that's what you do when you're...
Crawford mentioned that he later saw Topuria online, boasting he could beat him in a single round. Crawford pointed out that their in-person meeting would have been the perfect moment to issue a real challenge, but it never came. He acknowledged that crossover fights between boxing and MMA have been profitable for both sports in the past. However, he sees no real worth in facing Topuria, clarifying that this has nothing to do with the famous Mayweather-McGregor bout. Crawford questioned what he would actually gain from such a fight, both in terms of earnings and his career. He emphasized that Topuria is not on Conor McGregor's level and shouldn't be compared to him. Crawford repeated that he doesn't know Topuria personally, that the fighter has never faced him or proven anything to him, and that despite watching a lot of MMA, he simply doesn't find the proposed matchup compelling.
None of it. He's like,
Who the f*** is that guy?
He's not on my level. He's not on Conor McGregor's level. What the hell is going on? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Jake Paul's fighting Gervonta Davis. If that can happen, or him fighting Mike Tyson, if there's a world that we live in where that can go down and get watched by millions of people on Netflix.
Crawford admitted that while Topuria might be a skilled fighter, he can't be sure because he's never watched him compete. He contrasted this with Conor McGregor, a fighter he has seen often and said is in a completely different category. Topuria was quick to reply with a sharp prediction about how a bout between them would end. He responded on social media, questioning how Crawford could claim to follow MMA but not know who he is. Topuria stated that when they first met, Crawford actually wished him luck on his upcoming fight, suggesting Crawford's memory is slipping and that his chin will be next. He finished by saying he was speaking for the entire MMA community, asserting that anyone who steps into the ring with a pound-for-pound great is in for a real fight.
Was always willing to risk it. Ilia, I believe, is willing to risk it. Ilia versus Crawford. Am I wasting my time talking to you guys about that? Maybe not. There's not yet something here, but there's not nothing here.
Fellow boxer Shocker Stevenson shared a surprising opinion. He suggested that Terence Crawford might be the first boxer who could actually defeat an MMA fighter in their own sport. In a conversation that got people talking, Stevenson expressed strong confidence that Crawford would beat Topuria in the octagon, pointed to Crawford's childhood in Nebraska, where he was involved in wrestling from a young age. Stevenson believes this long history with grappling gives Crawford the fundamental skills needed to compete under mixed martial arts rules.
I gotta leave Bud alone. I think Bud Crawford is just different. In a boxing ring with him, bro, you're not gonna last more than one round, I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the UFC and beat the out of some guys too, because he got a great wrestling.
That fighter doesn't impress me. People overestimate Topuria. I'm certain Crawford could manage him. If they fought under MMA rules, it wouldn't be shocking to see Crawford use his wrestling to control the fight or even secure a submission. While Stevenson's claim that Crawford could dominate might sound like bold talk, it really highlights his genuine belief in Crawford's all-around ability. He's convinced that Crawford's athleticism and deep wrestling background would give him a real edge in the cage.
Obviously, it was a great show today. I was curious about your entrance, how you came to choose that song in particular to walk out to.
Well, you know, it was part of my outfit. The outfit was inspired by the movie Desperado. As you see, I had the guitar and everything, and my great childhood friend, Rosendo Robles, he was the one that, you know, carried the song out.
Terence Crawford had the goddamn audacity to walk out to Ilia Topuria's walkout song. I mean, what on earth is going on? How dare he? That is Ilia Topuria's song, okay? Ilia Topuria took exception to this in a very big way, and now these two are going back and forth. They are talking shit, and Crawford ain't having...
Former two-division UFC champion Daniel Cormier doesn't believe a Crawford-Topuria fight is realistic, and he has clear reasons why. Cormier pointed out that Topuria simply isn't a star on the same level as Conor McGregor. He noted that fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Tyson Fury were able to create competitive spectacles against McGregor and Francis Ngannou because of their massive fame. Cormier doubts Crawford would generate that same level of excitement. He called the lengthy promotion for Mayweather versus McGregor one of the most surprising things he's ever seen in combat sports. On his show, he stated that the very fact a matchup like Ngannou versus Fury happened remains one of the most shocking events he has witnessed.
I feel to hear that from someone like him.
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. one where he felt like he was at the best.
Joshua's win over Tyson Fury played out as I predicted. However, I do believe elite fighters like Mayweather and Fury possess the skill to manage a bout, making it appear competitive and convincing for the audience. Ilia Topuria aims for Conor McGregor's level of stardom, but he lacks that global fame right now. Daniel Cormier suggests Crawford would gain more from this fight than Topuria would, which may be the very reason it doesn't happen. Yet, for Terence Crawford, a champion who has always sought major tests, a clash with Topuria could represent the next significant challenge on his path.
SeaWorld, Ilia Topuria says that if you guys ever boxed, he would knock you out based on the first punch.
That dude drunk, Hey, a lot of MMA guys, they drink a lot, so he must been on that alcohol that day.
He also noted that if Terence Crawford chooses not to fight Ilia Topuria, another boxer will, and that match could bring Topuria a fresh wave of supporters. The whole scenario is tricky, especially since Crawford follows the UFC and is aware of who Topuria is. He had the opportunity to make the fight happen but decided against it. Commentator Michael Casa told MMAJunkie.com that he doesn't support this proposed dream match, despite Topuria's confidence that he could defeat the new undisputed super middleweight champion in a boxing ring. Casa stated plainly that such an outcome simply isn't probable.
I'm betting my money on anybody who mother used to go outside and pay kids money to beat her son up. I'm paying y'all real cash money to beat my son, and nobody got the money. I'm betting on that guy.
You betting on that guy?
He also pointed out that if Terence Crawford won't face Ilia Topuria, then another boxer surely will, and that alternative matchup could earn Topuria an even larger following. The situation is more complex than it seems, particularly because Crawford is a UFC fan and knows exactly who Topuria is. He had a clear chance to make the fight but passed on it. Analyst Michael Casa told MMAJunkie.com that he isn't convinced by this so-called dream fight, even though Topuria is certain he could defeat the undisputed super middleweight champion in a boxing match. Casa was clear. In his view, it's just not going to happen.
Big star, UFC, Ilia Topuria, and fight with the number one boxer right now. If you can do that, why not do that?
We did see Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua.
And you think Topuria can fight with him?
I don't. You asked me straight up, I do not think so, because Crawford is not going to enter a fight.
If a major UFC star has the chance to fight the world's top boxer, why wouldn't they take it? We've seen Francis Ngannou face Anthony Joshua, but could Ilia Topuria really fight Terence Crawford? Honestly, I don't think so. Crawford isn't interested in a spectacle. He knows how to engage fans and build his profile, but when it's time to fight, he's all business and exceptionally skilled, much like Floyd Mayweather was. Topuria simply doesn't have the star power of a Conor McGregor. McGregor had a unique charisma and a sharp wit that captivated a global audience and made that huge fight possible. Topuria might be entertaining, but he lacks that magnetic pull. Furthermore, UFC CEO Dana White has been clear. He generally doesn't support his fighters crossing over into boxing. He made a one-time exception for the Mayweather-McGregor event in 2017, and despite paying closer attention to boxing promotion since then, his stance hasn't changed.
He goes out and tweets, if I were to face Terence Crawford in boxing, I would put him to sleep. Now, this was after Terence Crawford went on the Nelk Boys podcast. Kyle said, who do you think the best boxer in the UFC is? Have you seen Ilia? He goes, oh, no, it's easily Cody Garbrandt.
Have you seen Topuria? Have you seen his fights?
I follow MMA closely, but I've never seen this fighter in action. He says the matchup isn't worth his time, and he's probably right. Even so, Topuria is winning the attention game right now because he knows how to stir conversation. Every time Crawford brings him up, it only gives Topuria more exposure. That leaves us with a real question. What does all this talk actually lead to?
You have interest in fighting him.
For what?
Money.
What money would I get out of fighting him? Tell me how much I'm going to get out of fighting him.
Floyd made a lot, obviously, to fight Conor.
He's not nowhere near on the level of Conor McGregor. Let's be real. Stop it. Don't ever compare him to Conor. Conor was...
Former UFC champion and Hall of Famer had originally advised Terence Crawford against facing Ilia Topuria. However, Crawford shifted the entire conversation last Saturday by defeating the reigning super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez, by majority decision. That win immediately fueled rumors of a potential bout with Topuria. Adding to the buzz, Crawford made his ring walk in Las Vegas to the song El Matador by Antonio Banderas, the very same track Topuria uses for his UFC entrances. Fans from both sports quickly took note of the pointed choice. Crawford later clarified that his musical selection was intended as a tribute to Banderas, not a direct provocation aimed at Topuria.
Recently?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cody got them hands.
Obviously, Ilia, that's probably maybe ignited a beef, and Terence Crawford is wrong. Ilia Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC. Does this eventually set up an Ilia into boxing? If Ilia...
Like, you're not going to see a wild part of the fight. Crawford was just going to be too clean, too smooth, too fast, and just keep him at distance the whole time, 36 minutes. They wouldn't even sanction a 12-round fight for Ilia Topuria. He's never fought 36 minutes.
With his victory over Alvarez, Crawford appears to have conquered the major challenges within boxing itself. This has opened the door to discussions about a potential super fight outside the sport. A matchup against Topuria could be alluring, promising a significant payout as Crawford's career progresses into its final chapters. And recent years, crossover bouts like Mayweather-McGregor and Fury-Ngannou have proven massively successful. However, former UFC champion Michael Bisping has cautioned Crawford against taking such a fight just for the money. Bisping warned that stepping into this kind of spectacle could come with unforeseen risks to Crawford's legacy and future.
Wrestling, real wrestlers on some everyday shit, because Bud looked bigger than that guy. He got longer arms. I wouldn't be surprised come fight night if they do an MMA fight if Bud done knocked him out, sleep, or choke.
When asked about facing Topuria, Crawford received some strong advice from Michael Bisping, who insisted it was a bad move. Bisping argued that even a potential payday of $50 million wasn't worth the danger. At 37 and undefeated, Crawford has built an exceptional career and doesn't need to chase a risky payday. Bisping even mentioned turning down a crossover bout with Jake Paul after his own UFC career ended, knowing it would hurt his reputation. He warned Crawford that a fight with Topuria could do the same. While Crawford's boxing skill would make him the clear favorite, faster, sharper, and in control from the start, a victory over an MMA fighter in a boxing match wouldn't truly enhance Crawford's legacy, especially without dedicated MMA training. Logistically, making the fight wouldn't be difficult, especially with UFC President Dana White now involved in boxing promotion. However, it might not help either fighter's long-term standing. On the other side, some observers like Zanin see a spark in Topuria that reminds them of Conor McGregor, a fearless willingness to take a major chance. Topuria is ready to fight anyone and risk everything, which was the key ingredient that made McGregor's fight with Mayweather so unique and successful. Many have tried to replicate it since, but few have shown that same genuine daring.
For sure. I've seen Conor McGregor fight a lot of times. It's night and day. You know it's night and day. Don't ever try to say they on the same level. What are we talking about? We're not talking about that. Tell that guy to, keep up the good work in his career.
He'd say his piece, then it was straight to a commercial break and he was gone. That level of self-assurance is uncommon, always being prepared to take a chance. I believe Topuria shares that mentality, willing to put everything on the line. As for a matchup like Collins versus Topuria, is it even worth discussing? I'm not convinced. That's about all there is to it. Whenever new boxing stories, highlights, or events come up, we share them on our YouTube channel. Be sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.